Hi everyone, thanks for stopping by. Today, I thought we would do something for the 4th of July. Let's crochet a drink coaster from start to finish. And why don't we add a bit of difficulty by pulling 3 strands of yarn at the same time? We're going to start with this and end up with this. As always, if you're here to learn a new hobby, expand your knowledge of the craft, or to just relax, you've come to the right place. So let's get started. Now, there are a million different ways to crochet. What I'm going to be showing you here is what has worked for me. Okay? So please let me know in the comments if you use the same techniques or if you do something different. And I'll do my best to explain as we move along. We're going to be doing this 4th of July drink coaster from start to finish. So if you're a veteran crochet artist, feel free to skip around this video as you like, but let's dive right into it. So I've got my 3 strands of yarn ready to go, red, white, and blue. I've got my scissors, which we're going to move out of the way until the very end. I've got my crochet hook, and it is a size P. There we go. I have a contrasting color yarn because I'm going to use that to help me keep track when I crochet. I've got a needle here as well, or at the very end for weaving those ends in. And then I've got this one here. It's a drink coaster I've already done, but it's just going to give me a little bit of visual reference in case I need to look at it. This one is done with half double stitches. That's probably my favorite stitch. I also like the way that it looks when it is flat. Single stitches, especially with 3 strands, I think tend to get a little bulky. So we're also going to be doing the half double as we go. So that's just there for inspiration and reference. So we're going to get started. And the way I start is probably going to be different than the way a lot of people do it, but I'll explain as I go. So first things first is, how do you start with your circle? You got your tail side and then your working yarn side. At the end, I want to be able to pull on the tail and have it tighten up like a drawstring. So that's what I'm going to do. So that means the tail side goes in front of the working side, like that. Then you take the tail, you stick it through. And now you can pull that. I'm going to stick my hook in here just to hold it. And then we can also see here, so this is the working side, and this is the tail side on the right. I want to be able to pull the tail side like this and have that be what tightens it up. That way at the end, we can weave these in and pull on it and have it be a nice tight center. So that's how I crochet as far as where the strands go in my hand. And we're just going to chain 2. All right. Here's where I might do things different. I'm going to put 3 stitches into this first chain on this side of the tail, and then I'm going to put 3 into this other side. So check this out. And we are going to be doing the half double, which is over in, oop, pull up one, and then pull it through all three. Okay, that's one, wrap. That's two. That's three. And again, it's nice to be able to tighten that back up. So the next three we're going to do, so here's our original tail. We're going to do the next three on the left side of that. Okay. So again, wrap, in, up, and through, wrap, in, up, and through, wrap, in, up, and through all three. Now we're going to pull on that tail. We do want it to be pretty tight when we start doing these because otherwise we'd have these loose and floppy outside stitches. And so without even trying, we already have a nice representation of red, blue, and white in here. It looks almost a little United Kingdom-ish with the way that the blue is a little overrepresented right here. But that's cool. That's what makes every coaster unique. So I'm going to grab my contrasting yarn here, a green yarn, because this is going to help me keep track of where to start and where to stop. And I've just got it over there. And of course, at the end, we're going to pull it out and it won't matter. So we've got 6 stitches here. We're going to do 2 in each of these 6 stitches. That'll bring us out to 12. And however did you keep track of that? I tend to keep track in my head as well as use the contrasting yarn. All right, so 2 in each one of these. And sometimes you got to push it through there because we are working with 3 strands of yarn. 1, 2. All right, next stitch. 3, 4. Oh, here we go. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right. And as we can see, since we've got our contrasting yarn here, we know that this is the next round. So for the third round, I'm going to set this down. We're going to look at the other one here. So for the first round is 6. Second round is 2 in each one of those original 6 stitches. So you're doubling the 6, give you 12. But on the third one, because we want it to be flat instead of becoming more like a beanie, right? Because we want it to stay flat, we're not going to do 2 in every stitch again. What we're going to do is we're going to do 2 in the first stitch, 1 in the second stitch, and then just repeat that as we go around. So here we go. We're going to move our green contrasting yarn to the other side so that we know where the stopping point is. All right. So again, 2 in this first one. One in this next one. So that's 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. 11. 12. 13. 14. 15. Here we go. 16. 17. 18. That's 18 is what we want. That's how we know that we've gone all the way to the end here. Okay. So at this point, looking pretty good. Now where is our, yep, here's our green thread. So we know that we've got all the way to the beginning. So now it's just a matter of finishing it up, because I think that this is big enough for a bottle or can. So I think we're done with that. So what I do, again, there's 2 different ways to do circles. You can either do the spiral method or the the round and then join method. This was the spiral method, so I'm just going to find that first stitch and then just do a single, well, not even a single, I'll actually do it just a slip stitch to bring that over, and then I'll just weave that in here in a second. So I'm going to grab my scissors and give myself a decent tail here, maybe 3 inches or so, 3 to 4 inches. And then we're going to pull all 3 of those strands through. We're going to get rid of the green contrasting yarn that helped us keep track of it. And at this point, you can kind of tug on it. You can kind of spread it out a little bit. It is very warm here in North America at the moment, so if your hands are sweaty at all, it does add some friction to what it is that you're doing. So now we just have to weave in our tail. Z. And the original one, don't forget you want to tighten that up as best you can. Yeah, weave these in, and then we're going to be done. So now that we've woven in our ends, that's not bad. It's a little bit curly on the edges, but again, with it being summer in North America, if your hands are sweaty at all, it makes the yarn kind of stick together and not flow as freely as it would otherwise. But also, we did the spiral method instead of doing the individual rounds. But for something just to throw a drink on so that you don't ruin the coffee table, that's not bad. Well, thanks again for joining me today, and do keep an eye out for my future videos on crochet, knit, and plastic canvas. Heck, even consider liking this video and subscribing if you enjoy this content and would like to see more. If you have any questions, please drop it in the comments section, and I'll see you next time.